My name is Steve Koenig. Hey, tell you what, let's have some fun. Do me this favor. Type in your first name and where you are calling in from in the chat box. That way I know, again, you've got good volume and good sound. I kind of get a feel for where our audience is from. Go ahead and type in your first name and where you're calling in from. Jim from Houston, Bob from Tucson, Baj from UK, Fran from Chile, Addie from Dubai, Jim from Fort Lauderdale, Clay from Alberta, Dave from Minnesota. Okay, keep them coming. We've got quite the international office now, audience. Now, hopefully everybody understands anytime you are trading in any time, be it stocks, bonds, mutual funds, Forex, anything, there's risk involved. So do not invest money you can't afford to lose, because you want to follow equity management, because losses are a normal part of the process. Now, we're not CTAs, that stands for Commodity Trading Advisor, which means we can't trade for you. But what we do here at Market Traders Institute is we guide you, teach you, coach you, assist you. And ultimately, at the end of the day, though, it's going to be you making the decision whether to enter the trade or not. And with, more importantly, I believe, with what position or lot size. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, here's my agenda slide, and I can go through all these. But bottom line, this webinar, this presentation is for one reason, and it's to see if currency trading, Forex trading is for you. Some people do it part-time, some people do it full-time. You can make literally any amount of sum that you want. Now, I'm not going to take your time for granted. I appreciate you being here. This is a live presentation. It's 10:47 a.m. On Friday, April 6, 2018. So let's go ahead and get started for this. Okay. Now, as I said, it's a live presentation. I do want you to take notes. I'm going to give you some a short, really high impact information that you're not going to want to forget. So do take notes on this. Also, in the chat box, if you have questions or comments, please, please, please do comment. Short questions, short comments are greatly appreciated. I can see them, I can read them, and I will respond as best as I can. Now, again, my name is Steve Koenig. I'm a senior Forex analyst here at MTI. I like to say I'm a recovering stockbroker. I love the investment markets, and I love helping people. And I thought as a stockbroker, that's what I was supposed to do. And I was training as a stockbroker. I was teaching people how to manage their own money, literally to the point where I would teach people not to be my client. So I'm a much better fit here at MTI, where I'm teaching people how to take personal control of their own financial freedom. So that's just a little bit about myself right here. Now, let me do a little survey just so I know where to start. Let me ask about your experience level in the Forex market, in the currencies market, on a scale of 1 to 10, where one is a beginner, meaning maybe you don't even have a Forex account, maybe you've never looked at Forex before. 10 would be somebody who is an active Forex trader making over $250,000 a year. Could you do me a favor? Just type in your experience level. It kind of helps me out, just know where my audience. So Jim at a 1, John at a 1, Max at a 1, Cheaton 3 years, good, Clay at a 1. You know, I've got Peter. I've got a lot of you coming in. The vast majority, I'd say 90% plus. I got 0. I appreciate that, Bill. Okay, I have 1, 5, 80. It's probably about 95% of you are really in that 3 or lower range. That's okay. Now, this is a zero-sum game, and what that means is the losers pay the winners. And if you find yourself losing more often than you'd like, what you're doing is you're paying people who've got more experience in training than you do. The only thing that separates them from you is education and a proper experience. Okay, so that's what I want to talk to you about this. But now I'd like to introduce you to somebody. I want to introduce you to a gentleman by the name of Jared Martinez. He's the one who started it all at MTI, Market Traders Institute, over 30 years ago. He saw something. He saw a pattern in the markets that repeated itself over and over again, and he was able to capitalize on it. And he started making a lot of money. And people around him asked him, "Hey, well, Jared, could you teach us how to do it?" And he said, "Sure." So then it went to 2 people, and they told their friends, and then it became 6 people. And before you know it, he could not do it by himself, and that's why he created his company. But he actually came up with the nickname. People call him the Chief, the FX Chief. Okay, he is a best-selling author. He's been featured on numerous business programs. He also created the only Forex program out there that is recommended for college credit. Now, he formed our company 24 years ago. Right now, we are now celebrating our 24th anniversary. And you've got to be doing something right to be in business for 24 years now. This company is outstanding. It's rock solid. We're doing very well. We have actually been rated one of the fastest growing companies the last 3 years row, according to Inc. magazine. Our students are 103%. 103% more profitable than the average trader. And the way we do this, I call it the perfect trifecta. It is by education. We have the best, I believe, world-class education out there. We also provide the best tools and software and automation, and they're great. Don't get me wrong, but I think what really makes us stand out is our mentorship. Could you all do me a favor? Write down that word in your notes, mentorship. This is so important. Regardless of who or what organization you decide to work with, you want to make sure you have somebody working with you literally on a daily basis. Mentorship is so important. Our company motto is we never leave a client behind. Now, speaking of never leaving a client behind, we actually have mentorship. We have guidance. We have special programs. Now, we have a special dollar rally prediction. We're predicting over 3,300 pips. That's $33,000 of income, of profit that we are expecting on just this one currency pair alone on the dollar cost average. Now, speaking of coaching and monitoring, okay, we've got a gentleman, we've got great people, but I want you to write this one down. This coming Tuesday night at 7 p.m., we have a special trading session. It is called the Dollar Rally Prediction. Okay, we are going live on Tuesday. Now, we've closed out positions in the last week where our students have made thousands upon thousands of dollars. And we normally only allow experienced people into this type of a special trading session, but we are going to allow 11 people from Investors Inspiration to join us on this presentation. Now, we've got to keep it small. We've got to keep it limited, but if you're interested in being one of these 11 people, type in your telephone number right now with the word Josh. I forgot to talk about Josh. You know, Josh right here, this gentleman right here, he took a $500 trading account and he turned it into a $39,000 profitable account in under 2 years. He's the one that is doing this. So if you would be interested in joining Josh on this special trading session on Tuesday night, do me a favor, go ahead and type in your telephone number right now, and what we're going to do is we're going to follow up with you and let you know what it's going to take to attend. So William, I see your number, thank you. Fernando, I've got your phone number, thank you. TC, I've got your telephone number. Again, if you are interested in attending this special live trading session on Tuesday night, we're going to call you. There's a couple of things you got to do. You got to qualify. Mason, I've got your phone number as well. But if you're interested in getting the details, do make sure to type in your phone number right now. Now, as I talked about before, our students, our clients, are 103% more profitable. These are just some of the many stories. You know, hey, I sold the British pound, Swiss franc at a trendline break for $1,000. We've got all kinds of things going on. Peter, I've got your phone number. Thank you so much for that. Okay, now, when this presentation is done, I'm going to give everyone here the opportunity to become a student 60 days risk-free. Okay, now just ask yourself, can you see yourself learning this? Can you see yourself can you set aside 30 minutes each day to learn this? Okay, that's what I want you to ask yourself as you're going through this presentation. Okay, now this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Okay, this is a skill set. Okay, it's like riding a bike. You got to learn it, but once you learn how, you can literally do it the rest of your life. So ask yourself, can I see myself doing this? Would I be happy with this level of income? Because if the answer is yes, I believe that you're on your way to financial independence. And to me, at least, that means being able to do what you want, where you want, when you want, with whom you want. So my promise is as follows. It's a three-part promise. By the end of this presentation, in the next 60 minutes, you're going to understand the full potential in the Forex market. Number two, you'll see if you do decide to do it, it is something that you can do part-time. And number three, you'll figure out why that's for you or not. Okay, that is great. Now, we believe that if you cannot learn this, from MTI, you won't be able to learn it from anyone else in the world. It's a bold statement, but I'll tell you that's what's going on. Now, for those of you that have got a little bit of experience, bear with me. I want to make sure I give everybody kind of the basics. What is the Forex market? Well, Forex stands for foreign exchange. They just took the first couple letters of it, and it says Forex, or foreign exchange. And what it is, it's the exchanging of one currency for another currency, okay? So an example would be, say you live in the United States and you travel over to Europe, okay? That you would have to exchange US dollars for euros, and once you come back home, you have some extra euros, you exchange those for dollars. Do me a favor, type in yes if you have ever exchanged money. If you have ever exchanged one currency for another, just type in a yes if you've ever done that. Because if you have, you've already done a Forex transaction. Now, the Forex trades the fluctuations of the exchange rate between two currencies. It always trades in pairs. It'd be like the US dollar, euro, the euro, Swiss franc, the Swiss franc, Japanese yen, and so forth. Now, there are 8 major currencies that we choose to trade: the US dollar, Canadian dollar, the euro, British pound, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, Australian dollar, and the New Zealand dollar, because they are financially and politically stable, but yet they still move. There's still enough volatility for us to generate income off of. Okay, and Alexander and F3M and Bargender, I've got your phone number as well. Thank you. Now, there are 4 major reasons to trade the Forex market. The first one is called liquidity. What that means is there's always buyers and there's always sellers. You never have to worry. You can always get in, you can always get out. Another reason is the size. It is the largest market in the world. It trades $5 trillion a day. It trades more in a day than all the other markets combined. It actually does more volume in a day than the entire New York Stock Exchange does in a year. Focus. You know, I love all the investments. I've traded all the different investment classes, but you know, with stocks, there's like over 5,000 of them. Hard to figure it out. Futures, same thing. Options, I love options, but you practically need a PhD in mathematics to do it. In the Forex market, we only focus in on those 8 currencies, and when you match them up in pairs, there's only a total of 21 we look at, but on any given week, we only look at 4 to 6 currency pairs. Could you do me a favor? Could you just type in the numbers 4 to 6, so the 4-6 in the chat box? I want to make sure you understand this. On any given week, it is very focused. We only look at 4 to 6 different ones. Betty, thank you for typing in the number. Sue, thank you. Bargender, Kingsley, Peter, thank you so much for doing that. Okay, now the last one is flexibility. In my opinion, flexibility is what makes the Forex market so special. It is open 24 hours a day. It is open from Sunday afternoon 5 p.m. to Friday afternoon 5 p.m. Eastern time. So that means it works with any schedule, okay? There are no day trading restrictions. You can be in a trade for minutes or hours or days, whatever type of trader you are. You can open up an account with any size. Many people open up an account with $500. There's some places you can do it with $200. As a matter of fact, you can actually open up an account with 0 money, meaning it is a live trading account with demo money, so you can start off really, really small and ramp up from there. So what that means is it can provide you with daily income or weekly income. It can also provide you with long-term income or wealth. For example, retirements. It is taxed advantages. Type in me if you like the thought of paying lower taxes, because that's another advantage of it. And you can actually trade it in retirement accounts, at least here in the US. So bottom line, the Forex market really offers huge potential. Okay, so that's a little bit on the Forex market. So let me do this. What I want to do right now is I want to go to my charts. Okay, do me a favor. If you see charts, could you either type out the word charts or the letter C for charts? I want to make sure we've got good visual and everybody can still see my chart. So just type in charts if you can see my charts. Just want to make sure we've got good visual still. Okay, good. I got a bunch of you still seeing it. Okay, so let's just start off over here. Let me just start off on this charts. Now, this is the charts right here. So if you look at this right down here, this is the Great British Pound and the New Zealand dollar. This is a 1-hour chart. Okay, does everybody see this? And if I go here to the right, if you see where this says 1.91, if you look on the right, you might not see this. It's kind of small. 1.91, that's the number. What that means is it would take 1.91 New Zealand dollars to buy 1 British pound. Pretty simple. The 1 hour, what that means is each one of these bars, we call these bars, we actually call these Japanese candlesticks, but each one of these represents 1 hour of time. So if I click on this, on the right-hand side, a box will open up. It'll tell me what the opening price of that hour was, what the low of that hour, the high, and what it closed at. That's one way. Another way, the white candlesticks, the white bars, that means it went up. The dark blue, that means it went down in price, okay? So if I pick on this one right here, I could actually, just to represent, I can go here. It opened up in the bottom left. This is called the wick high. This is the low down here, and it closed right there. The next candlestick right there, open up there. That's the high. That's the low. That's there. So it's pretty simple on how to use it. And down here is the time. So the 2018, and February, March, April, everything of that nature. Now, our job is to capture pips. And if I don't tell you what a pip is, I always get people ask me. It stands for price interest point. You will never again be asked what that means. Okay, you will never again be asked what that means. But if I didn't tell you, people are always curious. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Oh, I've got somebody ask me about this software. This software is our very own. It's called the Ultimate Charting Software. We just call it UCS for short. It is a proprietary software system. We have developed it. We've spent millions upon millions of dollars to develop this. We make it available for our students. You don't have to use it, but it's a tool. It's just another tool we make available. But anyway, our job is to capture pips. What is a pip? Well, I'm also going to give you a little bit of training of what we do. One of the technical, we do something called technical analysis. And one of the things we work with is called trend lines. Well, there's all kinds of tools up here. There's all kinds of tools down here. One of the tools that we love to work with is called a trend line. So we're going to build a trend line. And if you see this right here, this is a down trend line. And once it breaks that down trend line, that could provide, for example, a buying opportunity right there, okay? This one's not the best example, but I can show you. Here's a down trend line, okay? And then it breaks it, and there's a purchase right there. Or here's another one, okay? You can probably see these again. You can kind of see these down trend lines. Is this making sense so far? You can see the market goes down, it breaks a trend line. These, for example, could be what's called counter trend line breaks. The market goes down and it breaks it and we get in. Let me show you a better example. Let's kind of go over here. I'm going to see if I can do this a little bit. Let me just kind of go over here. We're going to look here on this one. Come on. Okay. So let's just look over here. First off, does everybody see, can you see right here that the market as a whole is trending up? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Can you see when you look at this, the market is overall trending up? And you might have heard of something, the trend is our friend. Okay, so we're going to look in the trend. So right here, the market itself is trending up. So right over here, we're going to see something right here on the right. So we're going to look at this and we're going to say the market is going up, and right down over here, we have again that trend line. So the long-term trend is up. The long-term trend is up. But down here, we have this. Does everybody see this right here? Give me a yes or no if you see this, okay? So the market is trending up. Short term, it's going down. So we're going to say when it breaks this trend line, as soon as it breaks that trend line, we're going to buy. We're going to buy that. Well, sure enough, that's what happens if we go one more candlestick right there. So this would be our buying opportunity. What we would do is we would buy, okay? Or actually, I can say we would buy. We would buy right there, okay? We would buy right there. Well, I'm going to tell you something. We also work with something that is called a set. Okay, let me write this down. Set, S-E-T, which means on every single trade, you will always have a stop, you will have your entry, and you always have a target. If you do not know all three items, do not take the trade. So this, for example, would be our entry. Okay, our entry would be right there, right where I did that black line. Well, what is a stop? Well, the definition of a stop is we think it's going to go a certain direction. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, okay? I'm going to get rid of this just so we have, but we're going to buy right there. So our plan is to buy right there. Well, we're going to set a protective stop, which means we think it's going up, but what if we're wrong? Well, we're going to figure something out. We're going to put a stop down below here. I'm going to make that red, okay? And we teach you how to do it. It's like 15 pips below. We're gonna teach you a strategy how to do that. But this down here, this is gonna be our stop, okay? This right here is our entry. Well, what do we need now? Well, we need our target. Now, we see that the market is trending up, and I think it's gonna go up further, but let's just be conservative. Let's just be conservative, and let's just say, I feel pretty confident it's going to break higher, but let's just say we're going to go to this previous high. Everybody see that previous high right there? All I'm saying is we're going to set that as our target. Now, the reality is we'd probably have a higher target, but I just want to be conservative here. So we got it. Now, yes or no, we have our entry right here. Okay, we have our entry right there. We've got our protective stop just in case. It'd probably be a little bit closer, be about right there. And we have our target. Now go live life. This is called a set and forget trade. You do not have to stay by your charts anymore. You just, you let the automation, you let the software do it. So let's happen. Next hour, okay, great, it's still within the range. Next hour, boom. Does everybody see? Give me a yes or no. Does everybody see right here? Does everybody see right there that the market, it went up and it hit our target? Give me a yes or no if you see that. I want to make sure, this is important. I want to make sure. Now, how did we do? What did we make any money on doing this? Well, I've got a ruler right here. See this little ruler looking? It's a ruler on top of a ruler. I'm going to check this. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Bargender. Make sure that I know you guys are getting it. And I'm going to measure it. So we got in here and we got out there. And does anybody see up here in the top left-hand corner, there is a box, okay? And it says range in pips 122.6. I'm going to just call it 122 pips, bar 2. Each one of these bars, each one of these candlesticks is an hour. So we just generated 122 pips in 2 hours. Let me write this down. So we did 122 pips in 2 hours. Is this making sense so far? It's important. I need to make sure that you understand how this is working. Okay, so we just generated this. Now, how did we do? What is this? I'm giving you lots of numbers and I'm giving you different definitions. What does this mean in dollars and cents? Well, let me write this down. Okay, I want to do this so you understand this. You can trade different position sizes. There is something out there called a micro lot. You can control a micro lot with just a $20 investment. Okay, think about it. Just 20 bucks to trade a micro lot. For each pip of movement, it generates 10 cents. Okay, so we did 122 pips, so that would be 122 pips times the 10 cents. Okay, so we just generated $12.20 of profit in 2 hours. Now think about this. You're starting off small and you already made money. But you want to know something? You can definitely start with a micro lot, but most people actually start a little bit larger. They start with something called a micro lot. You can control a micro lot with just a $200 investment. But what's nice about this, you do the same amount of work, but you make more money. Now, each pip is worth $1. So you take the same 122 pips. Well, now you just made $122 of profit in 2 hours. Okay, so if we looked at this, well, I think I can do. I can just divide that. That would be a 61% return on investment. Okay, can you start to see why people are attracted to this? Let me give you an example how this works. Okay, this $200 investment, it's not a cost. Okay, it's not a cost at all. What it is, it's collateral. So here's what happens. When over here on the right, you got it in the market right there, your brokerage firm is going to hold on as collateral in your account $200. Okay, then boom, boom, 2 hours later, you got out right up there. Well, when you got out there, they're going to give you the $200 back, the collateral. They're going to return it, and you now have made $122 profit. That's a 61% return investment. Can you start to see a little bit why people are attracted to this? Now, I shared with you, most people start at a mini lot, but they don't stop there. Okay, then there's something called a standard lot, and you can control a standard lot with just a $2,000 investment, but this is powerful. Now, each pip is worth $10. Okay, so this exact same trade, you've now generated $1,200 $220 of profit in 2 hours. Okay, give me a yes or no. And if it's no, that's fine. But can you give me, everyone, give me a yes or no. Can you see now why people are attracted to the Forex market? You do the same amount of work. You do the same amount of work, but you make many, many times more money. Can you guys understand that? This is a powerful, and I mean, it is incredible, you know, what's going on. Okay, so I just want everybody to understand how that works and everything else of that nature. So let me do this. Let me do this. I got a bunch of you. So Max, Bargender, Joseph, good. Thank you all for sharing that with me. Let me kind of do this. Okay, I want to do this. Okay, this is called leverage. This is how the buying power works. It doesn't matter if you start with a micro lot. It doesn't matter if you start with a mini lot. It doesn't matter if you start with a standard lot. This is all part of the Forex market, the advantages of the Forex market. Now, as I shift gears, I want you to write down, could you do me a favor in this chat box? Write down in the chat box, okay, how much money you need to make on average every month from the Forex market in order to accomplish your financial goals. I'd like you to write that down. So on average, how much do you need to generate every month from the Forex market in order to accomplish your financial goals? Now, everyone has a different number, okay? So I got Jocelyn at $3,200. I've got Kathy at $5,000. I've got Dominic at $5,700. I've got Ted at $8,000. You know, I'm seeing a lot of different numbers, but you know, most of the numbers seem to be in that $2,000 to $8,000 range. I've got Kingsley at $10,000. Most of you are in about that $2,000 to $10,000 per month range, and it's very doable. Like I said, it's like a skill set. It's like riding a bike. Once you learn how to do it, you do it month after month. Now, if I can show you a couple of basic strategies where you can consistently make anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000, or if you're in British pounds, it doesn't matter wherever you're at. I'm just talking about the equivalent, US dollar equivalents. But if I can show you where you can consistently make anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per month, month after month, in your free time and not quitting your job, would you be willing, yes or no, would you be willing to set aside 45 minutes a day to master this? I'll say it again. Would you be willing to set aside 30 to 45 minutes a day to master this if it could consistently generate $2,000, $10,000 per month? Okay, I've got a bunch of you saying yes, so thank you for doing that. Yeah, you guys are getting this. See, this is a skill set. Once you learn it, you never have to relearn it, okay? You can provide yourself an income stream. You can do it anywhere in the world. And when our students come here, they don't talk about the income they make. They talk about the freedom it gives them. I'm going to tell you something. I travel about 5 to 7 weeks a year, and that's because of the Forex market. It's the lifestyle that it gives you, okay? Now, stay with me. Do me a favor. Stay with me until the end. Here's what I'm going to do. Let me do this. Stay with me to the end, because I'm going to give every one of you here today the chance to test drive us risk-free for the next 60 days. Okay. Now I'm going to open the markets back up. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I've got questions coming in a couple of different areas. A lot of you are asking about our coaching and our mentoring program and how that works. If you're interested in learning more about our coaching and our mentoring program and how you can be working with trading experts like Jared Martinez and Josh Martinez and Tyson Clayton, Chris Pulver, and the such, the easiest thing you can do is put in your telephone number in the chat box, and I'll have someone follow up. So if you're interested in finding out more about our coaching or mentoring, type in your telephone number with the word coaching or coach right now, and what's going to happen is I'll have someone follow up with you. I've got very, very limited time in this presentation, so I can't go into great details right now, but if you'd like to find out more about our coaching program, if you put in your phone number with the word coaching, I will have someone follow up with you. I also have some of you that are again asking about that Tuesday night trade session, that live trading sessions. If you haven't done so yet, if you would be interested in trading with us live on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, what I'd like you to do is type in your telephone number with the word session. So, and if you're interested in both, type in both. So if you're interested in more details on the coaching, you can put in your number, your telephone number with the word coaching. If you'd like more details on that special trading session, you can type in your telephone number with session. And if you're interested in both, you can type in your telephone number with the word both. Okay. So Jared, I see on there. Thank you, James. I've got you for both. Great, Stanley. I've got you also for both. Tahili, I've got you for session. Good. Okay, let me do this. I've got to go back. Let me go back to the. Let me go back to my charts. Okay, let me go back to my charts here, and let me go, Jim. I've got you for a trading session. Thank you. Let me go back to my charts, and let me go to this. Okay, we trade something. Have you ever noticed that the markets move in a pattern? Okay, that what they do is they seem to make this wave pattern where they'll make lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs. Does anybody notice this? And then they reverse direction, and they'll make higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows. And I can take this really small, or I can do it on the macro, or I can do it on the micro. It works. This is called the Fibonacci wave pattern. It is a 12th century mathematician, and it holds true. And what he discovered is that these wave sequences repeat themselves over and over and over again in practically everything. Now, what I've done to kind of speed up time, oh, I guess I didn't do it. I guess I messed up on this one. So let me do this. So what we've got here is I'm going to give you a quick lesson on Fibonacci's, okay? And I'm not a mathematician, and I'm not a artist, okay? My wife and my daughter get the artist awards, okay? So this is kind of, if you could think of the Fibonacci, and I'm doing a poor job, okay? But what I want you to see this is what we do is when we go through this, this is the market. The market makes higher highs and higher lows and higher highs. Well, we have a sequence here, okay? At the very beginning, we call that an A. I'll just delete this and I'll start over, okay? We have something that's called the ABCD sequence, okay? This is called the ABCD. So we have the beginning, we have a higher high, that's the B. Then over here, we have the higher low, that's the C, and then up here we have the higher high, that's the D. A, B, C, D. Does everybody see this? Type in A, B, C, D. I want to make sure you guys are seeing this or you're getting this. We have the A, B, C, D. Well, what we do is the Fibonacci, there's a tool right here called the MTI Fibonacci retracement tool. It's another tool that is available right here on our trading software. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in on our trading software. So here it is. I've got our Fibonacci. You're going to see black lines. The black is on the A and the B. And you're going to notice three other colors. We have red lines, blue lines, and green lines. We have red up here and red down here. And here's how this works. When the market comes down, this is called a retracement. You see where it comes down, retraces? In this area down here, this is the retracement area. And if I actually took this, I could make a little box here, okay? And I could call this the red zone. This is where the red lines are, okay? And then if it comes down a little bit further to where this blue is, okay? I'm not drawing this perfectly, but I think you can generally see where it's at. This would be considered the blue zone. That's the blue line, okay? And then we have below that, this is the green zone down here, okay? And the way that this works is as follows. And again, I kind of shared with you, I'm not the artist in the family, my wife is. I'll try to do this. So here's what happens. When the market on the Fibonacci, when the market comes down, wherever it comes down to, okay, if it comes down and retraces, reverses direction anywhere in this red zone, that then the expectation, if it stops and reverses in the red zone, we expect it to go to that red line. Okay, so red zone to red line. If, however, though, the market goes down and it retraces down to this blue zone, okay, if it goes down to the blue zone down here, then we expect it to go up to this blue line. And if, in fact, it goes down here to the green zone, then we expect it to go down to this green line below here, okay, right here, this green line. So I already typed this up, just try to save a little bit of time. So we've got red zone to red line above, blue zone here to this blue line, or green zone to the green line. Red to red, blue to blue, green to green. Red to red, blue to blue, green to green. Give me a yes or no if that is making sense. Give me a yes or no if that part makes sense so far, okay? And here's what we do then is, let's just say it goes down here, and you can see this is a red zone retracement, okay? I shared with you before something that we work with is called a trend line. And there's something that when it crosses over, it's going down, going down, going down, boom. Where it crosses that is called a counter trend line break. That would be our entry right there. So good. We let the system tell us, we look the tools, that's where we would get in. Where would we put our protective stop? We're going to teach you this in more detail, but you see this A line? What we do is we would put our stop below that A. Okay, that's where we would do it. And because, because this is a red zone, we expect it to go this red line. That's this red line right here. And I'm going to put just a green line across here. This is where our target would be right there. Okay, so we get in here. Let me put a little line there. We get in right there. We have our stop, we have our target, and we're good to go. Now, with this, I want you to look at this. We still have our risk to reward or reward to risk ratio. Let me take my measurement tool. We are going to be risking, in this example, 50 pips to make 150. Okay, so our reward, in this example, our reward is 150 pips. Our risk is 50 pips, and this is called a 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio, or we'll call it RR for short. And I'm going to give you another tidbit. You're going to want to write this one down. As a minimum, whenever you take a trade, you want a minimum of a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. Everybody with me? Give me a yes if this is making sense. On a scale of 1 to 10, I understand you might not be able to do this all on your own, but if this is making sense. So here's what happens. We let the AB set up. We get in here at the counter trend line break. We get out right here. And as soon as it gets out, I don't care how much higher it gets, we get out. But once it gets out, we then set up for the next one. Now, here's what's nice. After we get out, this old C down here, here's what's nice. You don't have to figure this one. The old C becomes the new A. This old D becomes the new B, and all we do is we repeat the process. Have any of you ever heard the expression like when you wash hair, wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat? Have any of you ever heard of that? So I'm going to try to go a little bit bigger, and I'm going to try to make this this line a little bit better. Okay. So now what we do is we do it again. We put on our Fibonacci's. Okay. We're going to put our Fibonacci on this next AB right here. And as soon as it hits the level, boom, we get out. We put on the Fibonacci again, and we get out. And it also works on the way down. So we do the Fibonacci's on the way up. We do the Fibonacci's also on the way down. Okay, is this making sense? So I just showed you this in a very high basis, but I want you to understand. People are saying, well, Steve, I start to get it, but I gave you a 4-hour lesson in about 6 minutes. I want you to understand, if you choose to become a student here, you are going to get this. We have live education. We have an online university as well, where we have prep courses. We have lots of different things. Here's a 12-course lesson on Fibonacci. What is the Fibonacci? Talking about support and resistance right here. Fibonacci's, the ABCDs, retracements, extensions. You are going to learn all of this. I want you to understand there is live training, there is online university, there is additional information. We are not going to leave anybody behind. And by the way, I don't know if you can see this. This says the FX Chiefs Fast Track Mentorship, 16 weeks. Jared Martinez, the FX Chief, is still active to this very day in the education of our students. And he puts everybody, everyone that chooses to become a student here at MTI, they actually go through, in addition to all the other training and all the other support, you actually go with the Chief through a 16-week mentorship program. It is very, very impressive. And I'm just going to cover this last one. We also have something called Grade Your Trade. Anytime you're in a trade, especially when you're brand new, we're going to teach you how to look at a trade and then grade it. Okay, I got this, I got this, I got this. I don't have that. I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. We're going to teach you how to use this. In this example, we have an 85% grade. It's green. That's a great trade. Take it. Now let's say there's another trade and you say, okay, I have that. Okay, I don't have that. I don't have that. And you grade it. and it's a 55%, which means it's a middle, it's red, which means stay out of the trade. So we're going to provide for you all of these different tools. We're going to provide live education, the online university, the mentorship. We're going to provide all this kinds of information. Now, your timing today could not be better, because on this Monday, if you remember before, I shared with some of you that we are now celebrating our 24th anniversary. As a matter of fact, we only do this once a year. Your timing could not be better. But on this Monday, we are doing a special 4-day live training. Okay, it is called our 24th anniversary event. It is going on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It is 4 full days of live training. I'm going to go through this quickly because this is a bonus. Every single day we have different trainers, different instructors, different speakers. But this is 4 full days. This is once a year. We only celebrate our anniversary once a year, okay, in the early part of April. So your timing could not be better. These are some of the different speakers. We're going to be talking about, I got to go through this quick. I've got very limited time, but you're going to get 4 full days of the best trainers. We're going to learn about Forex, and we're going to talk a little bit about cryptos. We're going to be talking about currencies. We're going to be talking about metals. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things. Now, I want to share something with you. Normally, our existing students, they do have to purchase a ticket to get in this training. It is normally $2,995. We got to pay the instructors for being there, but we've got a special bonus going on today. This is part of our Investors Inspiration. We are going to make this available as a free bonus for people today. If you decide to move forward with MTI, we are going to give this to you. Now, here's the challenge. I only have 11 spots left. Now, we're not going to lock you in. We're not running credit cards. But if you would like to put a soft hold on this, what I would like you to do is type in your telephone number with the number, oh, I don't want to put 24. That'll mess you up. Just put in your telephone number right now with event. There we go. Otherwise, we're going to get the number messed up with that. If you would like to, I'm not saying you're going to do this, but if you would be interested in getting this $3,000 event for free as a bonus today, here's what I'd like you to do. Type in your telephone number with the word event, or type in your telephone number. And what we're going to do, there's only 11 spots available. So if I get more than 11 people that do it, it's only going to be the first 11. And we're going to be calling people on a first come, first serve basis. So William, I've got your phone number with event. Thank you for doing that. Jim, I've got your phone number with event. Thank you. Herman, I see your phone number. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Phone number is great. Dennis, I see you. Cheatin, I've got your phone number as well. Mason, I've got your phone number. Good. Again, by putting in your phone number, it's a soft hold. We're not running credit cards. We're not doing anything like that. It's just saying, if you decide to move forward, you would get this as an additional bonus for free. Now, today's the last chance because it starts on Monday. Okay, so if you're interested in that, I just want to let you know, if I wait till the end, I know that I always forget about it. Okay, so Mason, I've got you. Let's see, F3, I've got you there. Peter, I've got you. Clay, okay, good. Go ahead and keep those coming. Now, let me go back to my charts. Let me go back to my charts right here. Okay, so let me go to a different chart right here. Okay, let me go to, okay, this right here, this is the British pound, New Zealand. This is a 4-hour chart. Now, I showed you before. I showed you this first one was a 1-hour chart. This one is a 4-hour. Let me show you on a 4-hour right here, and I'll go to a daily a little bit later. So what we would do with what I already showed you, okay, we would look in the charts. We would look to the left. We'd look for the low, for example, and that's down here. If everybody sees this, I just put this on here. This is the low. So we would put our Fibonacci on that low, okay, and we would go to right here, okay. So all I'm doing is I'm using our automation. I'm using our automation right now. I'm not working harder. I'm working smarter, okay. So here, right here is the Fibonacci. And using one of the tools that we talked about, we've got something called this trend line break. So right there, it breaks it, okay? So we would get in right here. You guys with me? Give me it so far. Now, if you looked at this carefully, this actually did go down and it hit that blue line. So that would be a blue zone. So that would be a blue line exit. Okay, is this making sense? So we just go blue to blue. So what's going to happen is right here, blue to blue, that's our target. So we would get out right there. So how did we do on this trade? Well, we got in right here. We got out right up here. Let me take my measuring device, okay, from where we got in to where we got out. Okay, if you look at the top left, that's 99.9. That's 100. I'm going to call it 100, okay? In bars too. Each bar is 4 hours and 8 hours. So let me write this down. So that is, we just generated 100 pips in 8 hours. That would be $1,000 of profit. Okay, let me do it. $1,000 of profit. That would be trading just one standard lot. Now, if you were trading 2 standard lots, you don't have to stop. Okay, you don't have to stop with just 1 standard lot. You could be trading 2. We have some students that are trading 5. We have some students that are trading 10. So I want you to understand, this is what you do right here. Okay, but would be this first trade. Well, guess what? Wash, rinse, and repeat. Let's do it again. We're going to put on the Fibonacci right here. Okay, I'm going to go right here. And again, I'm going to put on my counter trend line break as an example. Boom. Okay. We probably have it, we probably broke it right there. You might have gotten in there, and if you didn't draw it exactly perfectly, you said, well, geez, I missed it right there. So let's just say you did this right here. Let's say you did this when you originally did it, and you got in right here. Okay? Well, let's see. This is a red zone. This is a red zone. Okay? Did not go down to the blue line. So our target is going to be up here. Give me a yes or no. I'm going to show you some examples. I'm going to go over this a few different times, okay? But our target would be right up there, okay? And let's see how we did. So we're going to keep on going, and right here. There we go. Right here. We hit it right here. Everybody see this? Let me show you. We got in down here. We got in down here, and we got out up here. Give me a yes or no if you're seeing this. Give me a yes or no if you're seeing this. Paul was asking if you're trading $10 a lot, you have to have big capital. It's a $2,000 investment. A $2,000 investment controls 1 standard lot. So that each person gets to decide if $2,000 is a lot of capital or not. When I consider a lot of capital, I would say 50,000, 100,000 would be a lot. $2,000 for most people, once they know what they're doing, probably wouldn't be considered this. So on this one right here, okay, this is 156 pips in 7 bars. Let me write that down. We did 156 pips. Okay, that was in, so that would be in 28 hours. So again, this would be like $1,560 of profit. I'll just show 1 standard lot. I'll just show 1 standard lot. Is everybody with me on this so far? Is everybody with me on this so far? Now, is there anybody here? Is there anybody here that would be concerned about saying, well, Steve, okay, I'm confused. I don't know where to draw the next bar. I don't know if I'm supposed to do it to here or to here or to here or to here. Is there anybody here that says, hey, this looks great, but I just don't think I could draw the lines? Type in me right now. If you think you might be concerned about how to draw the lines or drawing them right, do me a favor. Type in me if you'd be concerned, because I want to show you something. I want to teach you how to work smarter rather than harder. So I'm going to get rid of these Fibonacci's. I'm going to just delete them, and I want to show you technology. Remember I said we have incredible tools? Well, there is a tool right here. It's called Smart Fibonacci. So now you don't even have to draw the lines because you might be afraid of drawing them right. I'm going to hit Smart Fibonacci. I'm going to go down to this bottom. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, click. 3, 2, 1, click. And it draws all the Fibonacci's automatically. Check that out. So it matched us on the first one. It matches us on the second one. But if you said, well, Steve, I just don't know where the third one goes. Well, let's take a look at this third one, okay? Well, here's the third one. We probably didn't get in here. Here's where we probably would have got in on the third one. We might have gotten in right here, okay? Or some of you might have been a little bit more conservative, done something like that. You would have gotten in somewhere around here, but regardless, each one of these, this is a red zone. I'm going to be conservative. I want to be conservative. Let's just say we got in right down there, okay? How did we do in this third trade? Well, let's just see. This is a red zone, okay? So I got to get down a little bit more. This is a red zone, so we're going to go to the red line, Okay, red zone to red zone to red line, or red. Okay, so we're going to go to up here. Okay, we're just going to let it go and play out. Sorry, I thought I had it on here. Okay, and it hit right here. You can't tell, but it actually hit right there. So let's measure this one. On this trade, we made 426 pips. So we made 426 pips. Okay, let me put this in here. Oh, I got to learn how to take this out. So we have 426. So we have plus 26 pips. Okay, so that was on our third trade. You guys with me so far? Let's keep on going. So we did that on that trade. So we did 156 pips on our first trade. We did 100 pips on our second trade. We did 426 on our third trade. Let's look at this next one. Okay. Well, we probably would have got in about right there. Okay. Oh, look at this trade right here. Right here, can you see where it did not go down very far? You know, when I do trades, I like it to go down to that second red line, that it's called the 0.382. So I'm going to say in this one, here's an example on our fourth trade, there was no trade. Is it okay? Yes or no? Is it okay if we don't take a trade? Because I'm going to tell you, sometimes the best trade is a trade you don't take. Okay, if it doesn't give us enough reward, so this trade we did no trade, and this next one we got out, we got in, we got out. Okay, that one's making sense. Come on. Okay, so we got in right here. We would have got out on the red line right up here. That would have been about right there. So on this trade, how did we do? Got in. Got out right there, 678 pips. Okay, so let me put this in here. Plus 678 pips. Okay. And let's just keep on going with this trend. The trend is our friend. Okay, here's another example. We're in this next trend right here. Okay, market went down. We wanted to see it go down to at least that 0.382 level. It finally did. Okay, we probably would have gotten in about right here to this red line right above here. Okay, red line over here. Oh, I need to go a little bit further. Right there. Okay. We would have gotten out right there. Let me measure this. Got in there, got out there. What have I got up here? 647 pips. Let me write that one down. 647 pips. So we would have made plus 647 pips. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Let's look at how we did on this. Okay, we did 100 pips. We did 156 pips. We did 426 pips. We had no trade, so I'm calling that a 0. We did 678 and we did 647. Okay, let me add that up. Let me take a calculator here and I'm going to add that up. We have 100 plus 156 plus 426 plus 0 plus 678 plus 647. Okay, 2007. 2007. So what we just generated right here, this is on just one currency pair. So we did 2007 pips on just one currency pair, and this would have been in 4 months. Okay, so that would be $20,070 profit trading just one standard lot. And I want to reiterate, this is just one currency pair. Do you remember before when I said on average on every week we probably look at on anywhere from 4 to 6 currency pairs? What if you were doing this on 4 currency pairs over four months? Can you see, can you at least understand the type of capacity that we're talking about here? See, this is what's going on. This is why people are so attracted. Now, you need to get a proper guidance and mentorship, but we call out trades every single day. We have a daily trading session. We have a daily mentorship to help people with this. Now, let me kind of share with you what I've shared with you so far. This is called traditional technical analysis. We've talked about support resistance. I showed you trend lines. We talked about candlesticks and breakouts. I showed you the Fibonacci's, the ABCDs. Now, it's going to take you about 60 days to learn, probably a little bit longer to master, but we've got a tool. We have a tool called the Power Fibonacci tool that will completely automate. Rather than you having to pick the entry, it will automate the process. And I'm going to tell you that you could actually be trading with it yet today in the next hour or two, because it only takes you 5 minutes to learn. And it identifies the trades, the entries, the exits, the targets, the stops. It takes away all the guesswork. It saves a ton of time, and it has an 80% hit rate. Hey, who here? Give me a me, Emmy. If you'd like me to show you this automated Power Fibonacci, type in me. I just want to see if I still got who here would be interested in that. Let me go back to my charts while you guys are doing that. Yep, there we go. Paul, I see you. Jim, I see you. Kingsley, I see you. Dennis, I see you. Good. Let me go back. I'll go back to a new chart. I'll go back to, okay, now I'm going to show you on a daily, okay? I'm going to go back to a daily right here. Let me get rid of some of these lines right here, okay? So we can go on, and just like we did before, we're going to work smarter rather than harder. We're going to, step one, Smart Fibonacci. That's an automated tool we're going to put on our Fibonacci's, okay? And I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to show you an example of how this works, okay? And let me just kind of go in here a little bit tighter. Let me go in here a little bit tighter, show you. So right here on the right, I'm going to show you an example. Here's the Fibonacci, or ABCD. Now, I'm going to do this manually, but if you have the Power Fibonacci, this is all done automatically. With the Power Fibonacci strategy, every time it hits one of these retracement levels, it would enter trade. So it gets down to this first red line. This is called the 0.236. It would get you in. If the market retraces down to this level, it would get you in there. If the market retraces to this level, it would get you in there. If it retraces down to this level, it would get you in there. If it retraces down to this level, it would get you in there. Does everybody understand? So I'm drawing this manually just for your benefit. But if you apply, and this is, let me just show you, this is called the Power Fibonacci tool, or you could call it the strategy. Okay, if I can spell. This is called the Power Fibonacci tool, or the strategy that I'm showing you. I am doing this for you manually, but what happens if the market comes down to these different levels, okay, like right here, market retraced, the Power Fibonacci strategy would get you in automatically right there. Great. Okay, next hour or next period, got you in right there. Great. Next trading period, it would automatically, now I'm showing you this manually, but this strategy, you can be sleeping. You can be on vacation. You can be out on the golf course. You can be hanging out with your kids, your family. You can be doing whatever you want. This strategy, once you have it on there, you can apply it. It's going to work out. So we're just going to let it play out. Great, great. Boom, right there. Right there, it gets in again. Let me get rid of that square. Now, if you can see, this is a blue zone entry. If you were doing this manually, you could actually do this manually if you wanted, but if you were doing this all manually, you would have to change your target now, because these were red line targets. Once it hits the blue line, you would have to change these other four. You would have to change it. The Power Fibonacci strategy does this all automatically. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's continue to go on. Let's see what happens. We're in the trade. Okay, I'm just going on, and here's what happens. Remember, this is a blue zone, so it's going to be a blue line exit. I'm going to go green because I like my targets to be green, and it hit right there. Okay, so we hit right there. Okay, so can I have somebody type in me if you'll be my scorekeeper? I'd like somebody to help me out writing down some numbers. Type in me if you could be my scorekeeper. Just write down some numbers. I can do it if I need to. It's just a little bit faster if I can get somebody else to do it. So let's just see how we did on this strategy, okay? On this first one, okay, we got out. I'm going to put my ruler. We got out up here, or see if I can be good. On the first trade, we got in right there. okay, we generated 217 pips. Could somebody type in 217 for me, please? 217. On the second trade, on the second entry, we generated 281. 281. Let me write this down too, just to make sure that I've got it. So that's 217. Okay, so we have 217 and we have 281. Okay, that's the first entry and the second. How about our third and our fourth? Okay, again, we got it out up there on our third entry. That's 330. So we made 330 pips on that one. Here's our fourth, 330 and 381. Let me just add that to the list. 330 and 381. Edit. So we did 330 and 381. And then on our last entry, again, we got out there, we got out down there. That would be 449 pips. Let me add that again to the list. 449 pips. So we got 449 pips. Okay. So let me take the calculator. That's let me clear this. It's 217 plus 281 plus 330 plus 381 plus 449 equals 1,658. 1,658. So this power Fibonacci strategy, let me write this down. So power fibs did 1,658 pips. Now, what if we had not done the power fibs? What if we, this is, by the way, this is just one trade. This would be considered one Fibonacci sequence. Okay, this is not multiple. This is the power fibs. We generated 1,658 pips. Okay, and if that'd be 1,000, that'd be $16,580 of profit trading one standard lot. Okay, now you don't have to do the power fibs. If you had done traditional, Fibonacci, here's what you would have done. You would have done a trend line. You probably would have gotten in about right here. Okay, it did go down to the blue line, so you would have had a blue line exit. So from right there to the blue line, you would have made 357. 357. So traditional fibs equals plus 357 pips. Now, there's still nothing wrong with 357 pips, okay? But over the same time frame, over the same exact sequence, okay, let me ask you a question. If you had a choice of making 357 pips and you had to do all the work yourself manually, or you could have something done, and this is what I'm going to say is this is fully automatic. This is fully automatic. Which would you prefer? Would you prefer a manual strategy making 357 or a fully automated pips? Now, somebody is asking how this works. I'm going to show you just very quickly. I'm going to go to the live market. So right here, here's what happens. You see this tool right here? This works in every sequence. All you have to do is you go to this tool, you go to the power fib settings, you go right here. I'm going to hit all the lines. I'm going to go here. Okay, I'll show you. This takes about 5 seconds. Okay, and maybe 10 seconds. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, and you hit OK, and boom. Now, the reason it didn't show you a line on this one is because we already hit that line. Okay, so this is how to do it. I don't know if you saw how quickly I did it. You hit it, takes about 10 seconds right here. Does everybody see these lines? This is now set up automatically. That's it. This is now in the live market. The reason I couldn't show you the example in the live market is I wanted to show you the outcome. But you can do this at every single time, and it's done automatically. So think about this. Think about this. The power Fibonacci tool, it automates the entire process. You can be trading with this today. It takes 5 minutes to learn. You set it up, it takes you 10 seconds. You open up the box, you click a couple boxes, you hit OK, and you have it. It identifies the trades. It takes away the guesswork. It saves a ton of work. And here's what's nice. It gets you in automatically. It chooses the exits, the stops, and everything else. Now, let me ask you a question. With all the tools, with all the systems, with everything I'm showing you, if I added it, I did add this up, right? We did add this up. When I was looking at this before, what were we talking about before? This was traditional power Fibonacci's. Okay, this is one currency pair, by the way. You're probably going to be trading four to six of them. But let me ask you this question. With our guidance and our tutelage and our assistance, is there anybody here that thinks they could generate just 20 pips a day? Give me a yes or no if you think with our help, our guidance, our tutelage, our coaching, that you could generate just 20 pips a day. I've been showing you hundreds. I've been showing you thousands. How about just 20 pips a day? Give me a yes or no. I got a bunch. Yeah, if you generate just 20 pips a day, you take that, say, 20 days a month, okay? You take weekends off, okay? This would equal 400 pips a month. I'm not talking about 400 pips a day. I'm not talking about 400 pips a month. A week. I'm talking about 20 pips a day, just 400 pips a month. Okay, it has an 80% hit rate, an 80% success rate. But let me show you this. If you were generating 20 pips a day, just 400 pips a month, and let's say you started off with a mini lot, okay, that's about an extra $400 a month. And is $400 a month a life changer? You know, probably not, but you start with the mini lot. And then say you go up to a standard lot. At a standard lot, that's $10 a pip, doing the exact same amount of work. That's now $4,000 a month. Now, that's an extra $4,000 a month. That's an extra $50,000 a year. Is that a life changer? I know for many, for me, an extra $50,000 definitely is and definitely helps and makes a lot of sense. Absolutely, it does. Okay. And if you did 2 standard lots, we're talking about $8,000 per month. Okay. Now I can show you example after example. We've got things. We've got something called the Ultimate Traders Package. Okay, it provides education, software, application. It provides the best of the best. It's an on-site training, online university, our charting software, the mentorship, world-class support. We've got so much. We're going to throw in information on cryptocurrencies. Okay, you're going to get all this information is included in the Ultimate Traders Package. Okay, the students that have generated in the last 3 months, they have generated over 26,000 pips. Over 26,000 pips. Okay, we've got on our Facebook, we have so many students up 10%, up 20%, up 2,400 pips. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we provide everybody a 60-day money back guarantee. Get in the program, kick the tires on it. And if in 60 days you decide it's not for you, we will give you 100% of your money back. Now, the Ultimate Traders Package by itself, if you did it a la carte, it would be over $10,000. As part of Investors Inspiration, if you went online, it would normally be $79.95. We are doing an Investors Inspiration price of just $59.95. That's $2,000 off the regular price. That's 25% off. We've got monthly payment plans available. Okay, if you're open to having a conversation, if you're open to have details about it, go ahead and type in your number right now, because for everyone that at least types in the number, gets details, we're going to do something special. We are going to provide for you the 24th anniversary. We're going to throw in all 4 days at no additional cost. This is a special bonus that we're going to be providing you. Okay, today is the only test. So Michael's asking, what's the ongoing cost? It's included lifetime education. Once you pay for it, this is what you have. Let me share with you, Michael. Let me go on. With that education, regular price would be $10,990. Today, as part of our Investors Inspiration, it's just $59.95. If you're open, at least have a conversation. Type in your number right now, because for everyone today, we're going to throw in the following bonuses. We've got class starting on Thursday. We're going to throw in a full year of the charting software. We have 2 different platforms. That's over a $4,000 value. We're going to give you live trading webinars every single day, Monday through Thursday. Okay? We're going to throw in the dollar rally. That is that Tuesday night event. We're going to throw that in. We're going to give you a cryptocurrency lesson program. We are going to throw in the Fibonacci to regular $1,500 cost. So that would normally be, Michael, extra. We're going to throw that in. Right, Trader, I didn't have time to show you. We're going to be providing you all these tools as part of the Investor Inspiration. It is over $21,000 of education that everyone here today is going to be able to get for just $59.95. Okay, that is a huge savings. Now check this out. That is $15,000 off the regular price if you did everything. It is for investors' inspiration only. Okay, here's what I'd like you to do. To get the details, at least have the question, type in your phone number with the word details, and what we're going to do is we'll follow up with you and we'll have a conversation. Okay, monthly payment plans are available. I've got a way to take another $500 off. If you can call us right now, this should be on our slides. If you can call us right now, we'll take another $500 off. So that would bring the cost down to $54.95. Okay, we've got option A is if you pay it all in full. Option B is if you need financing on it. Okay, we've got our 2-day class next week. We have our 60-day money-back guarantee on it. You're going to get all the different programs. You're going to get Josh's trading session. You're going to get all the education. You're going to get everything right here. Now, I can go through all the different success stories that we've had. We have so many students that are making money. This is the club. This is how much they're making per month. Okay, bottom line, it comes down to this. I realize many of you saying, Steve, it looks good. There's an investment. I'm on the fence. If you are on the fence for any reason, you don't think you have the time, you don't think you can afford it, you're not sure if it's going to work, we understand. If you are on the fence for any reason, here's what I want you to do. I want you to type in your phone number with the word fence. We've got financing available to get you into it at a very cost-effective. You put a down payment down, you make monthly payments until it's paid off, but let us at least have a conversation.